Scotch, scotch, scotch. Here it goes. Down to my belly. You ready?
Yes.
Push this button. Wait for it to go green over here. Yeah, that's all looking good. Push this button. And we're live here on Facebook. I'd like to welcome those listening in podcast land, and also like to welcome my buddy Rich. Rich, how you doing today? How'd your week go?
I'm doing good, Mike. Last full work week before we hit the holidays, as with the way the company structures the holidays, runs dual kind of figures out the holiday pays and holiday days off, holiday hours, and a vacation day planned for next week. Yeah, today was the last full work week of the month. Of the
Yep.
month and the year for that matter.
Yeah, I got one. I think next week I got a full work week. I might take a day. I don't know. I got days to burn, so we'll see. But yeah, it was a good week for us. We're getting caught up.
Good.
We see the light at the Christmas tunnel. We're
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
both the kids finally back to full health.
Yeah, they're doing
The
great.
kiddos,
So
good.
they're doing great. Got to hang out with the in-laws tonight and play some euchre, which was nice. And yeah, here excited back on a Friday night. We were doing Fridays all the time for a while there, and so nice to like Fridays kind of feel like home again, and kind of.
Hmm.
I like the Saturday mornings better, but these work too. Um,
It was your choice to do
it
tonight.
was.
I
Well, so tomorrow we have community breakfast.
okay.
And then after that, there's a basketball game at the high school that starts at 1:30. And so I have to be at the high school at noon for the start of the game, or for
Oh, okay.
before doors open, and make sure everything's ready to go. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
so we're gonna hopefully get the kids to take a nap at the school for a little bit. They're gonna come with, and
Okay.
we'll
Cool.
see.
So are you going to be out at Spirit Lake or out at Esterville?
Milford, but yes,
Milford. Okay.
Milford is where the school is. So
Okay.
okay, Rich, we got a, some stuff to talk about. We actually have stuff to talk about in 3 different sports,
Hmm.
plus an esports update. We have an
Ooh.
esports update, and we have the NBA in-season tournament. Rich, what else do we got to talk about?
We'll be going to the gridiron to look at weeks 13 and 14 and give you our power rankings. As I don't know about you, Mike, but there was a big shakeup in the top 10. Big shakeup. So looking forward to discussing that with you.
I took a peek, and you and I are surprisingly together on this.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. So we'll have to see
yeah,
how
I'm
far some teams
shocked.
moved.
Yeah,
Um, and then kind of we had maybe some baseball to talk about as
yeah,
the winter meetings were this past week, but it was kind of quiet compared to years past,
yeah. But
transaction wise. But all that and more, Mike. But what do we have to do first?
we gotta roll the intro. Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich. And we're back. Okay, Rich, first things first, before anything, the most important meal of the day, the
Yeah,
poll question.
that's right. Our poll question this week was pancakes versus a bagel and cream cheese. So we left it up to you on what style of pancakes and what style of bagel and cream cheese. So everything's kind of open ended this week. We got a big turnout, Mike. I
16.
think we hit double digits. Yeah, 16.
16.
So, Mike, before we go over how the votes went, I voted for pancakes.
Now, what is your preferred pancake?
Well, it'd have to be almost like the only pancake that I eat, and it's gonna have to be my mother-in-law's Swedish pancakes, little skinny
Oh,
pancakes.
I love Swedish pancakes. So Danielle's family, when we were dating, there we I spent the night there one year for
Hmm.
Christmas Eve. My parents were out of town. I was gonna basically be by myself, and so they were like, "Come on over, spend the day with us." It was great. Had a great time, but woke up to Swedish pancakes for the first time ever.
Hmm.
Those things are delicious. Little cinnamon
Yeah,
on.
I
You
mean,
get the cinnamon on yours?
oh yeah, that's the only way to do it. Cinnamon sugar, syrup, kind of roll them up, roll them all up, like
Nope, they
roll
don't.
them up.
They
Really good.
they what? So they do theirs different. They stack them
Hmm.
up and make like a pie that's like that big,
Oh,
and then you cut it like a pie, and you get your corner slice.
interesting.
But each
Yeah, I think.
layer between each layer, there's a little cinnamon sugar in each layer, and
Hmm.
it gets stacked. It's awesome.
Yeah, no,
I would
the
totally
way
go for some
the
Swedish
way
pancakes.
Karen makes them is that she makes them individually, and it's like it's
Right,
she
you make them
make
individually.
them individually, and then she's taking them off of the cast iron and going right on the people's plates,
Nope.
and right on people's plates. And I kind of like two or three on my plate at one time, so I can kind of roll it up and have a little bit of layers like you're talking.
Nope. She does. She does. We do. Well, I. Maybe that's what we'll start doing. I think I'm gonna see if I can talk my wife into doing that. That would be. We should do that. I think that's what's
But
gonna
yeah,
happen.
you got to go with the
Now,
cinnamon sugar and syrup on the pancake.
no syrup. Syrup is disgusting. I hate maple syrup. We've discussed
Mm.
this before. I hate maple syrup. Um, but I actually have a different pancake that I love.
Okay, what's that?
Even though those sound delicious, cornbread pancakes.
Cornbread pancakes. Okay.
Basically, you make cornbread muffin mix. It's a little bit different. I think you put a little sugar in it. I don't remember. But then you just cook it on a cast iron, like a regular pancake. Whew. Like, so it's sweet already because it's corn sweet, right? And then so
Hmm.
it's really good. But seriously, I think the Jifs. I don't know if they still have it, but the box of Jif, I think still has the how to make pancakes out of cornmeal, out of the cornbread mix.
Hmm.
Check it out. I know you guys don't. I guess you guys don't eat. You
We,
guys,
we we try to go low carb, so
you guys
probably
dinner.
that's off the thing. The pancakes that Karen makes will probably be a kind of like a 1 day exception. So it's kind of
Like
like a special
Christmas,
occasion when we get those.
your Christmas one.
Yeah, our Christmas. So Mike, what were the results? So we both went pancakes.
Yep.
How did the votes tally out?
75% rich.
Okay.
75% of our 16 votes.
Okay.
12 for pancakes, 4 for bagels and cream cheese. Of your 12, you had me, Solomon Stroop, Charles Owen, Pat Scranton, Beth Hoffman, Michael Allmert,
Allmueller, I think it is.
Allmueller, yeah,
Allmueller.
Dale Wilson, Sue Hart, Cody Cooper, Josh Hendricks, Rich Hendricks, that would be you, and
Yeah.
Josh Couture. Good bunch of new names on that list, and thanks for voting on that. On your bagel and cream cheese side, man, these people, I love all of these people. Like, genuinely love all of these people. You have Pam Hendricks.
Hmm.
You have AJ Hendricks,
Yeah.
Austin Shrepeck, and Ashley Couture.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah.
a
So,
group
so
of people.
if you're having a bagel and cream cheese, um,
Oh, that's
what,
easy.
what's your
Cinnamon crunch
what's
bagel.
your
Cinnamon crunch
okay.
bagel with hazelnut cream cheese.
Normally, if I'm having a cinnamon crunch bagel, I'm not putting anything on that because it's good the way it is. But most of the time, I don't know if I have a go-to bagel, but the cream cheese has got to have a little bit of fruit in it,
Wow.
like a strawberry or something. I really don't like a hazelnut.
I don't like strawberries outside of just strawberries or strawberry shortcake. Like I
But
don't
I don't know. My cream cheese got to be some sort of like fruit
I
mixed
can
in with
do
it.
I can do the mixed berry or the blueberry cream cheese, but generally we have a pancake cream cheese right now because
Mhm.
we don't have a place that we don't have a place to get bagels here. You don't
Hmm.
get bagels, so you got to buy the bagged bagels, and so you're buying Aldi brand Thomas bagels or whatever. Not Thomas, the Aldi brand bagels or whatever they are, and so
Hmm.
so we get those regularly, and we put cream. I love putting cream cheese on them, and we got a pumpkin cream cheese, which is quite
Hmm.
delicious. So yeah, this week we go back to cereals, and we have a for the first time we have a subsidiary cereal. I think you would call it.
Yeah, as we're gonna go Apple Jacks going up against Captain Crunch
Make it
with
happen,
Crunch
Captain.
Berries. Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. So I'll try and get that posted either tonight or tomorrow morning. So, Mike, are you ready to go over to the gridiron to look at week number 13?
I really am, Rich. I really am. Um, so, Rich, we'll start with the upsets. We're going to do it different this week. Normally we do
Okay.
locks first. This week we're going to do it upsets. Upsets of the week. I picked what most people would call the biggest upset of the week. The Cardinals over the Steelers, and they pulled it off 24 to
Hmm.
10. Man, uh man, yeah, we're going to have to talk about that team because that
I don't know if that was the biggest upset of the week, but it was the upset that came through. It was a good upset pick. I liked it
we're
because I don't like the
I'm
Steelers,
going
but it
back to
also
13.
that
I'm going back to week 13. I guess
okay.
Washington, Miami, Washington, Tampa. eh, yeah, you're right. There were a lot of big upsets, but it was
That happened
94
with the
to
results.
6.
Yeah.
94 to 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 whole games last week that were considered that were 95 or better.
A lot of upsets happened, a lot of upsets. But also this Cardinals victory helped the Bears
It really does.
because the Cardinals gave there's a little bit more cushion to keep them away from being able to get the number one pick. With Carolina still only having one win. And the Steelers also helped out the Bears later on in the week on Thursday night football, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
All right, Mike. My upset of the week, I went with the Broncos over the Texans, and the Texans cooled off those Broncos, who I thought were going into that game pretty hot, and they won 22-17. So I am 8-5 on the upsets. Mike, you are 7-6. How'd the locks go, Mike?
So lock of the week, I picked the Lions over the Saints. Lions won 33 to 28, bringing me to 8-5. Rich, you picked the Jaguars over the Bengals. That game went to overtime, 34-32. The Bengals made it work. It drops you
Yeah.
down. You're sub 500 for the first time this year, Rich.
Yeah, well, no, it's not the first time this year, but it's
It's been a while.
I've been kind of up and down all year
Yeah.
on the picking locks of the week. I mean, it seemed I didn't watch the game, but I was kind of following it to see what the final outcome was. But I didn't expect the Bengals to put up 34 points with a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
With a backup quarterback that did not look good against those Pittsburgh Steelers the week before.
And
But I guess a full week of preparations can help, though.
yeah. I am going to move. We're going to do Thursday Night Football. Then we're going to get into our power rankings, which
Gotcha.
Thursday Night Football has nothing to do with our power rankings.
It does not.
But it does make a trend that probably hurts two of the teams even worse than what they were. It actually helps one team and hurts another. But Patriots, Steelers, Thursday night, and we both picked the Steelers. There's no reason not to pick the Steelers. And the Patriots found a way to win 21-18. I am 9-7 on the year. Rich, you are 12-4.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by this one. Why is Belichick not wanting to appear that he's tanking? Is this
Rich? If the draft picks were today, guess what? They're still number 2.
Yeah, that they are still number 2.
So what? Like at that point, that win doesn't hurt them at all, does it?
No.
And,
I think they would probably still have that number 2 pick to where if they are going to draft a quarterback, they're going to get the guy that the Bears don't draft, or the team that they trade that pick to doesn't draft.
And here's the bigger one. We have been hearing for years that Bill Belichick is the greatest head coach in the NFL for years, right? Mm-hmm. But what has the biggest rumor been about Mike Tomlin?
He's got to be right up there as one of the best coaches,
right? And so,
as well,
is this one of those?
Never had a losing record,
right? Is this one of those things where he just is trying to be like, well, look at me, I'm better than this guy, just because you're younger than me, buh? Or is Bill Belichick so old that he forgot that he's supposed to lose that game?
Or that he needs a quarterback.
Or that too.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich, let's go into the power rankings like we said we were going to. In those power rankings, man, lots of things have changed. And in fact, after that Thursday night game, I accidentally, well, yeah, it looks like, wait, I'm looking at this. Are you sure you didn't put that rank in there before the Thursday night game? I mean, I guess. Wow.
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. That's where I have it.
Yeah.
I did not let.
Wow.
I have my rankings in there. I tend to do mine on like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Where I put my numbers in and.
Okay. We'll get there.
That's what I have it at.
We'll get there. Okay. So. Let me get here.
So while you're bringing yours up, Mike, my number 1 team, even though they don't have the best record in the league, beating the best team in the league that's been the number 1 in the power rankings for at least the last 5 or 6 weeks, I gave them the number 1 slot for that victory, and I put the San Francisco 49ers.
Are you reading my mind right now? It's 100% the exact same thing I did for the exact same reason. 100% and exact same reason. Number 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what? You might not be. You might have lost, but you still have the best record. Sure enough, the Eagles are number 2.
Yeah, I put the Eagles here. They might not be at number 2 based on what happens in Dallas this week, but that's something that you can talk on. That we can. That'll be for next week's show.
Yep. On
what happens next week. Right now, I got them at number 2.
Yep.
Number 3 is where I moved the Baltimore Ravens to.
Ooh. I have the Cowboys here at number 3.
All right, I put the Cowboys at 4.
And I put the Baltimore Ravens at 4. And number 5, the Detroit Lions.
I have the Lions here as well. Okay. For me, with the Cowboys, they're beaten up on they're all right. For all intents and purposes, they're beating up on bad teams. I mean, their one team, their one good victory that they have is with Seattle,
Yeah.
who they got on a Thursday night game. And but the things that they've lost to the 49ers and the Eagles, that's what kept me from giving them up a little bit higher.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Eagles, Cowboys play Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the boys win.
Yep.
Now what?
I believe I would probably, not knowing what Detroit, Miami, Kansas City, the teams lower than them,
San Francisco?
also do. I would probably keep San Francisco at 1 because I don't think that they're going to lose this week.
Okay.
But I'd probably move Baltimore to 2 and then go Cowboys and then the Eagles.
Man, it's huge.
Yeah.
This week is the week, man.
This week. Okay.
So
Mike, who do you have let's give, what does the power rankings have 1 through 5?
So ELO and the power
Yeah.
rankings both have the Eagles at number 1 and
Okay.
the Niners at number 2. Number 3, the ELO is looking still at the Kansas City Chiefs. And number 3, the power rankings have the Baltimore Ravens. Number 4, the power rankings have the Dallas Cowboys, and the ELO has the Baltimore Ravens. And at number 5, the Cowboys for the ELO and the Chiefs for the power rankings. Rich, who do you have? I have at number 6 the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, Mike, here I put the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Just looking at the record, they are 9-3, so I put them at the bottom of the 9-3 teams.
Okay.
I put the Chiefs at number 7.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
But they fell far losing to the Packers, and just looking between losing to the Packers and then struggling to beat the Raiders. And I mean, they lost a close game to the Eagles. I don't hold that against them. And looking bad against the Broncos, I think they went from last week. They went 4 down all the way down to 7 with that loss. I don't think I had them at 3.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I at least had them at 4. So they went down 3 slots with that loss.
And I think I had them at 3, and they dropped to 6. So yeah, I disagree. At 7 I have the Miami Dolphins again.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for the shoe to drop.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Okay.
At number 8, Rich, who do you got?
I put the Jacksonville Jaguars here. They're at the time of the rankings, I believe they were leading their division. They're leading their division, and there's an outside chance that if they can pull things back together, they could somehow wind up being the number 1 seed in the AFC.
That's going to be a big ask for them to do
that.
that.
A big ask, but yeah. But I put them at number 8.
Guess what? I did as well. Number 9, I have the Houston Texans. Rich, if I would have told you a year ago that the Houston Texans would make my eye test top 10, you would have had me committed.
I don't know about committed, but I may have been giving you that. Really?
Yeah.
Really? But yeah, I mean, rookie head coach, rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I don't
almost rookie or sophomore wide receivers. That's a great turnaround there. If he doesn't win Coach of the Year, I don't know what more you can do to get Coach of the Year. I put the Texans here as well. Number 10, I put the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Mike, beginning of the year, would you have ever thought that there would be 3 AFC South teams in a top 10?
I still have a hard time believing it right now.
Yeah, but right now, I put the Colts there because at the time they were in a position to make the playoffs. No, I'm not going to the if you're in the playoff picture, you're in the top 14 yet.
Yeah.
But I gotta give
Yeah.
they would be in the playoffs, and they're doing a lot better than anybody expected them to do this year. So I give them some extra points on that. So that's why I put them up to 10.
I have the team you probably are gonna think I'm giving way too much credit for here.
Okay.
I still can't drop out the Buffalo Bills.
All right. I moved the Bills up this week. They were down. I have them down at number 12.
Okay. Let's do the whole power rankings. We got time. We don't our show's a little light on some meat, so let's keep going.
Yeah, and I don't think the Bills are on their way up. They're
yeah.
They need to correct. They still need to.
Got a hard game this week.
They do. All right, Mike. So who did you put at number 11? I put the Steelers.
This is where I put the Colts. So
Okay.
again, our Colts are not far off.
All right, I have the Bills at 12.
And that's where I put the Steelers.
Okay. Number 13, lucky 13 is the Denver Broncos. All right, I put the Rams at 14.
Yep. I put the Vikings here.
All right, I'm not far off. No, I got the Vikings down a little bit lower. I
15.
put the 15. I put the Browns.
This is where I have the Rams.
Okay.
16, I have. Let me make sure I'm right. Yep, the Green Bay Packers.
All right, I have the Vikings at 16, and my 17 team is the Packers.
My 17 team is gonna shock you, Rich.
Who is it?
The New Orleans Saints.
All right, I have the Saints down a little bit lower, so we'll get there. My number 18 is Seattle.
I have the Browns here.
Okay. I got the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons at number 19.
Apparently, I didn't change the number for the Redskins. I mean, the Guardians. So my power rankings are a little messed up here because I put the number wrong. I think I oh, yeah, no, that's what I did. So 19 is where I have Seattle.
Okay. And rounding out the top 20, Mike, who do you have?
Atlanta.
All right, I have the Cincinnati Bengals here.
I have the Bengals at 21.
All right, 21 is where I put New Orleans.
Who do you got at 22, Rich?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Me too.
Okay. Number 23, I have the Vegas Raiders.
23, I too have the Raiders. 24, I have the Chargers.
Yeah, I put the Superchargers here. I was somewhat tempted to put them below the Jets because I expected so much more out of this team, and they're 5-7. Really.
Yeah.
5-7. Was not expecting them to have this type of record. Number 25, I put the New York Jets.
Rich, we are in mind meld today because that's where I have the Jets. 28 or 26, I have the New York Giants.
This is where I put the Titans.
Okay. At 27, I have our Chicago Bears.
I agree. Number 28 is where I put the G-Men, the New York Football Giants.
This is where I put the Titans.
Okay. Number 29, I put the Washington Commanders.
That's where I intended to have them, but I messed it up. And at 30, I have the New England Patriots.
I have the Arizona Cardinals here.
At 31, I have the Cardinals.
I had to put the Patriots here.
And
that's where I went with the Pats.
All together now, the worst team, giving the Bears the number 1 overall pick, the Carolina Panthers. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for me, it'd be interesting to see who would win a head-to-head game between the Cardinals and Patriots. But I don't think we get that head-to-head matchup, so I got to go off of who they've beaten. and Arizona's got 3 wins. New England's got 2. So New England gets the number 31 slot over the Cardinals.
Yeah. That's yeah. Be a fun, interesting way to see it go. But man. Okay, Rich, when you put your rankings together, what team shocked you the most that you actually felt as where you ended up putting them? Either high or low.
I think I'd have to almost go the Chiefs, falling down my rankings as far as they went. I think
now, here's the real question.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask you on this. Did the Chiefs fall, or did the other teams rise?
I put fall because, I mean, I didn't...
See, I think that
the Dolphins... But the teams above them...
Yeah.
The Dolphins, the Lions, and the Cowboys, their record is what it is. They are beating up on bad teams, and they're losing to teams with winning records when they're playing them. But Kansas City is like almost... They're not the Chiefs that we're used to seeing, and maybe their penny pinching ways of building a receiving core, thinking that Mahomes can elevate the talent level around him, has finally come back to bite him, because this combination of wide receiving core is really really affecting how that offense usually runs.
Here's a question
that we're used to seeing.
Here's a question: are they doing the old Bears trick, or the not the old Bears trick, the old Bulls trick, / the Yankees trick, / any number of the Warriors trick?
Okay.
We'll limp our way into the playoffs, and then we'll turn it on.
Yeah, and that, by all means, that could be it. They could be using a strategy of, you know what, let's get everything figured out. Let's see what we need. Let's try some things out, and we'll get it all figured. It'll be figured out by the time we get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the record. We just need to get into the playoffs. And they're playing in a weak division, so they should at least get in by virtue of winning their division. But you could see Patrick Mahomes playing his first road playoff game this year. All playoff games for him have been at Arrowhead.
Yeah, and that would be a thing. I want to look at something real quick.
Was there a team that you felt kind of went in your power rankings where, besides the Texans,
aside from the Texans,
besides the Texans, who do you thought either made a big jump or fell because of what happened this past week?
How about the Patriots? Like, if I would have told you in the last 5 years, if I would have told you even 3 years ago, or even last year, that New England would be one of your bottom 5 even, that seems crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they were probably the worst team in their division, and that was probably even that was probably before the Aaron Rodgers injury, but I didn't think that they would be this bad. I did not think that they would be this bad. So I didn't think they'd be in the bottom 5, but I thought they were at least going to be the worst in their division this year.
By the way, if the playoffs happen today, which they wouldn't, but we would see the Chiefs versus the Browns. No, we would see the Chiefs versus the Colts in the first round.
Yeah, in Kansas City. So round 1 would be in Kansas City.
Yeah.
But round 2, they would potentially have to go to the higher seeded team, which would cause them to probably go to Miami or Baltimore.
Ooh, that would be wow, yeah. No, it would be they would either go to Miami.
Yeah, because they'd be the 4th team. So
they'd be the 3rd team. So they would either go to Baltimore or they'd host a game. It'd be one or the other.
Now, we can get all that sorted out. The bracket. Um,
But legitimately, if somehow the Bills end up in the playoffs, there's a very distinct possibility we don't see the Chiefs Bills as the AFC Championship. So, anyway, let's move on. Speaking of week 14, we're in week 14 already, Rich. Are you ready for that?
I am. I don't know. I don't know how much football I'll get to watch this week, as we got stuff going on this weekend. But I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get. So lock of the week, Mike. I'm giving you the honors.
Yeah.
Because as an early programming note, I'm going to be taking the week off to do a little bit of a staycation for my anniversary next weekend. So Mike, you have the honors for lock of the week, as I'll have to fill mine in off air for you before you go on air on Friday or Saturday.
I think you have my. You swapped our locks and upsets on.
Oh, I did do that. Okay, so what?
But my lock of the week is Texas over Jets.
Yes, the Texans over the Jets. I like that pick.
How could you imagine a year ago that the Texans would be the team that would not only be in a top 10, but would be a lock of the week? Hang on.
Yeah. If you went with the
yeah.
I mean, beginning of the year. I mean, even after week one, let's say after Aaron Rodgers is out for the year, I would have never thought that it wouldn't have been outside of the realm of possibility to say, yeah, I think it's going to be I'd take the Jets. I'd take the Texans as a lock. But I probably would maybe pick the Texans, but maybe not as a lock.
Yeah. Okay. But again, I think they're a lock this week. I'm looking forward to it. Rich, who is your lock of the week?
Well, I need to get back on the winning side of things with my record, at least even it back up to 500. So I'm hoping this team doesn't cool off like I thought last week's team was. And I'm going to go with the Red Hot Packers over the New York Football Giants.
I like that pick.
The G-men are not playing too well right now, and the Packers are kind of getting hot at the right time, to where there's a chance that they could sneak their way into the playoffs as a wild card.
Yeah, I like that as an option. My upset of the week, Rich. I'm actually going to pick the Broncos over the Chargers.
I like the pick. I mean, the Chargers are probably. I for one, I'm kind of disappointed with how they've been doing this year, and it seems like Sean Payton has figured out how to best use the talent that he has on hand in Denver. So yeah, I like it, and it's a division game.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. Being a division game, the fact that the Broncos are playing better the last couple weeks and the Chargers. That's about all you can say. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good game. I think the Broncos can pull it off. Rich, your upset of the week.
Well, Mike, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't have much confidence in the pick, but I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm going to go with the Rams going into Baltimore and pulling off an upset. So I think as long as they keep the ball on the ground and get Kyron Williams involved, that Rams team could pull off an upset.
Yep.
Good.
Okay. Lions, Bears.
Games in Chicago.
I know that I made a bold prediction that obviously is not coming true. So I'm going to lean into that my bold prediction is not going to come true at all. I'm going to pick the Lions. I'm switching this pick.
Okay, I think I had the Lions winning this game when it came down to, and I'm almost tempted to pick the Bears here. I don't. Yeah. No, I still got to go with the Lions. I think when you're throwing, I'm just not sure what the heck is going on with this offense.
That's that
Little
wide receiver screens.
Wide receiver swings, screen passes behind the line of scrimmage, hoping that your wide receivers can make something happen after the catch.
Yeah, it's
No, I got to give it to the Lions here.
If that's going to be your game plan, let's put somebody in other than a guy named Justin Fields. Like, what's the point? Like you're not using his skills.
No, they're not.
Like, can somebody tell me why we're doing things like throwing wide receiver screen passes 12 times in a game? It works twice, maybe, and we're still going to throw it 12 times in this game. Man, I bet if I looked it up, I bet I could find a counter for that. But I hate it.
I mean,
the play calling has been terrible. Fire everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of on the fence on whether you trade Fields, you re-sign, stick with Fields and build around him, keeping over Eberflus and hiring new coordinators, or just blow it up and get a whole new coaching staff in there. But I still think that at the end of the day, there's no way that Luke Getsy gets to come back for year number 3 as a coordinator if Eberflus survives the year. Makes it past Black Monday.
Here's the best part. I think Black Monday is the day that it happens, because the Bears can't hire Jim Harbaugh until after. I mean, they technically could, but Jim's not gonna go until after the playoffs. So,
well, actually, they can interview. They could have.
They could hire him.
Talks with.
They could have. No. Why?
No. You have to interview 2 minority candidates for your job.
But
you can't just.
Okay.
Nope, we're going to hire this guy.
But they could interview and hire. They could hire. I mean, before the season ended, like not before, but again, Jim's not going to allow them to announce the hire until after the college playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think he would.
That's what I
don't think he would talk to a team seriously.
By the way,
without it,
if Riverboat Ron is out in Washington, he gets an interview in Chicago. Like, he has to get an interview in Chicago, right?
I think so. And hey, that would kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because he would count as one of the minority candidates.
Yeah, but I don't think that's why they should. I think Harbaugh is the better short-term solution, and especially I think he's the better solution for Justin Fields. Actually, here's what I would say. If you're going to keep Justin Fields, hire Jim Harbaugh. If you're going to draft a quarterback, Riverboat Ron.
I actually would like to. I don't know. I think I would rather have if Harbaugh is outside of your budget, or if he signs a long-term deal with to stay at Michigan. I think I would go after Eric Bieniemy and give Bieniemy a chance. Because I mean, I would
have given him a chance too, but I also think I think Riverboat Ron deserves it. Bring him back home.
Yeah, I would probably go Bieniemy, or maybe even look at stealing Ben Johnson away from Detroit. He's done some great things with Jared Goff.
I got a better solution.
And go ahead.
We're going to give Kansas City $1 billion.
Get Andy Reid to come over.
We're going to give them $2 billion. How about that? We're going to give Kansas City $2 billion. And we're going to take Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I mean, that's...
Yeah. That won't happen. So Mike, here's one thing that I saw here.
Yeah. By the way, we
Kansas
still have
City's
offense.
Okay. Could Kansas City's offense be struggling this year because Matt Nagy is the offensive coordinator? Andy Reid's the play caller, but Matt Nagy by title has that offensive coordinator.
No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Andy Reid...
I wasn't wanting to open up a can of worms and start that discussion. Just something I heard. I mean,
I
if anything,
see the possibility, but I don't think that that's an accurate statement. I think that Andy Reid has enough control that it's an Andy Reid problem, not a Matt Nagy problem. So,
or a personnel problem. Well, yeah, is our. We got one more game to give a pick on, Mike. Thursday Night Football. Amazon Prime is going to give you the Chargers taking on the Raiders in Las Vegas.
Shockingly good, bad game.
They haven't had the best of games lately.
Competitiveness-wise, I think it's going to be a great game because I think it's going to be close. But I also think it could go... I think it could go either way. But I think the play is going to be terrible play because both teams are that bad. It's Chargers, Raiders. I'm picking the Raiders, actually.
Ooh. All right, and because of that, Mike, I'm going to flip and go to the Superchargers.
Okay, you do that.
Mostly because I need Justin Herbert to play really well.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah. I need a good Justin Herbert game. So I'll root for the Chargers.
Okay. That has been the Gridiron Jabber. And let's finally talk about basketball. Mid-season tournament. The only reason why we're talking about it, Pacers and Lakers are in the finals. Rich, you picked the Lakers to win the whole thing.
I did.
Looks like the NBA's scriptwriters are accurate, are listening to you. Are you on the inside? Are you one of their scriptwriters?
No.
And by the way,
I don't think LeBron would have as many championships as he does.
By the way,
if I was,
I legitimately heard a thing. I was listening to Dan Patrick today, and guess what I heard?
What'd you hear?
I heard your argument.
Oh, that they would use that as a comp to, hey, I won the first.
Yeah, Michael Jordan doesn't. Michael Jordan doesn't have the. Yeah, it's because Michael Jordan didn't care.
Yeah, I think, like the meme where you got the guy sitting at a table and it's like X amount of convince me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It was LeBron James sitting at the table. The in-season tournament counts as my fifth ring. Counts as my fifth ring. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Proves me, changed my mind, yeah.
That changed my mind. I'm sorry.
Man,
yeah, that changed my mind.
I want the Pacers to win. I know you picked the Lakers, and I'm happy that you got a team that you picked in the finals.
I picked this. I'm just looking at, all right, what's going to get the most ratings? LeBron James.
Yeah.
LeBron James in there.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with the Lakers.
Okay. Let's
winter meeting.
Winter meetings.
Where are we going next?
Yeah, I was just going to say that winter meetings. Let's go there. Did anything happen? I don't think it did. None of the rules. No rules changed. A bunch of billionaires hung out and drank.
Jim Leland got selected to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep, Jim Leland. Yep.
Jim Leland, but really the only trade that went down, usually the winter meetings, you see a lot of transactions come across the wire. Really the only one of that would probably catch your eye is Juan Soto going from San Diego to the Yankees.
Yep.
For 3 prospects.
Good luck with that, Juan. I actually think that's a terrible. I think that I don't like that a lot. I think Juan Soto might be at that past his prime point.
He's only, I think he's only like 25, 26 years old.
Yeah, but I'm not saying past his actual prime. I'm saying he did so well early on that his worth is way inflated right now.
Yeah, I think I like the being he's a left-handed hitter, so that short right field porch in New York is going to do really well. But the one thing where this hurts the Yankees is that he plays the same position as Aaron Judge. So to make room in the outfield, Judge is going to go to center field where there could be some more wear and tear on his body.
Yep.
And they're going to play Juan Soto in right field. And I think at least I think the past 2 or 3 years he's been in left field. So he's going to be playing a different position too. So they weaken their defense, but I think they really improved their offense, and it's a 1-year deal because he's got Scott Boras, so Scott Boras is going to take him to free agency.
Yeah. So, okay.
So hopefully there'll be more news to talk about as you keep hearing that Shohei Ohtani is going to be making a decision soon, but nothing has been finalized. Mike, before we give a spoiler alert, what's going on with Rocket League?
Rocket League, JV lost this week, but varsity pretty much handled Eagle Grove. We did. Did you see that it got posted? The YouTube.
I did see that you posted a link to the YouTube.
If you subscribe to that channel, that's where all of our games will be. JV and varsity. JV's Tuesday, varsity Wednesday.
All right, I will try and keep that in mind, and
around 4 o'clock
keep an
each of those days.
I'm sorry.
Around 4 o'clock.
Around 4 o'clock. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, Mike. Let's go ahead and give our spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about the Masked Singer.
Okay.
So, Mike, before we start, for all those, so if you haven't watched Masked Singer or don't care about Masked Singer, we'll talk with you. We'll be here for you next week. But Mike, if they're listening,
I'll be here next week.
Yeah, you'll be. One of us will be here.
Yeah.
So Mike, if they're listening to the show, they're watching us or listening to us here on Facebook and want to take us more on the road. What other option do they have?
Your best spot is to check us out wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to listen on the road, we are on Spotify. We are on Google Podcasts, which isn't Google Podcasts, it's YouTube Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, along with all the major iHeart. I think we're even on Amazon now. I don't know. We're everywhere, I believe, which is great.
All right. Yeah. All right, Mike. So if they're listening to us in podcast land and want to see the video feed of our show, what 2 places can they find it?
Rich, why don't you tell me?
All right. So you can find it on YouTube and, of course, on Facebook over at Fans of Balls and Sticks or Balls and Sticks over on Facebook, which is also where you can find our poll questions.
Okay, with that, we've given you a spoiler alert. Let's talk The Masked Singer. Rich, this week, I Want to Rock was our theme. We were talking about it at the beginning of the show. They didn't actually pay. It feels like they wanted to. They paid for they wanted to have the cheapest songs by some of the biggest rock bands. Kiss, one of the biggest rock bands, and rather than do one of their real rock songs, they did "I Was Made for Lovin' You."
Yeah.
Bon Jovi. Rich, I say Bon Jovi. First song that comes to your head?
Living on a Prayer.
Second song?
No, I can't.
Dead or Alive?
Sorry. Dead or Alive. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna look it up. Bon Jovi. I'm gonna go to Google right now, just randomly doing Google. Okay. It's My Life. Living on a Prayer. Wanted Dead or Alive. You Give Love a Bad Name.
Oh, yeah, that would have been another one good one, too. But, Mike, what song did they choose?
I'll Be There for You.
Where is that on that random list that you have?
This is just random list. The song, that's not the song they did, by the way. I'll Be There for
Oh.
You is, again, that's a ballad. If you, Rich, the greatest Bon Jovi song of them all, Blaze of Glory. Like,
Yeah,
all of
Blaze
these are
Glory's a good one,
songs
too.
you think of when you think of Bon Jovi. They decided to go with Always. It's like number
Yeah.
8, maybe 10 on this list. I don't want to count that many, but yeah.
And then the Sea Queen
By the way,
did.
Bad Medicine? There are so many better Bon Jovi songs.
All right. And then the Sea Queen did a song by Mr. Big, not a band I'd necessarily heard of. And the song, I don't necessarily that they chose for her to sing. I don't even think of that anywhere in the rock category at all. So it was kind of a head scratcher on why they chose the songs that they did.
Royalties. The price of royalties.
Yeah, but I had not considered that until you brought it up when we were talking about it during our pre-show where we were filling out our outline. But yeah, great point. So I thought out of those three, I thought that the Tiki did the best. With just not considering what happened in the showdown, I thought the Tiki did the best out of those three songs with those three performances.
Rockin', like, seriously, there are way better songs that Kiss could have done.
Yeah, that you could have done Kiss, you could have done Rock and Roll All Night, Party All Night, Shout It,
Shouts.
Detroit Rock City.
Beth.
Beth would have been a good one. If you were going to do a rock ballad.
Yeah. Psycho Circus. I'm trying to, let me think. Oh, yeah, Strider. You said that one, Strider.
Shout it out aloud.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a party. Shout it.
War Machine.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
A
But you
lot of
pick
the good songs that they could have chose.
I Was Made for Lovin' You. That's like Kiss cosplaying disco.
Was that during the period where they took the makeup off for a little while? No, that wasn't that
But
album.
it was 79.
Yeah, so they're probably getting on the tail end of disco.
Yeah.
To see if they can pick up new listeners. So not the best set of groups. So Mike, after the initial, we
Husky
know who was
Husky did Bon Jovi's Always. He got eliminated. Then it was Tiki and Sea Queen. Tiki did I Was Made for Lovin' You, and Sea Queen did To Be With You by Mr. Big. Tiki and Sea Queen did a battle royale where they did Nothing But a Good Time by Poison, which they had the guest. They had a guest intro what song they were doing, and who was that, Rich?
It was Bret Michaels. But before we talk about the battle royale, the Husky got eliminated first.
Yep.
I don't think that he deserved to be the first one unmasked.
Oh yeah,
I thought
it
should have been the Sea. I thought it should have been the Sea Queen. Nah, it should have been the Sea Queen.
No, I think.
Anyway, that's just me. But who was the Husky?
So the Husky was Genuine.
Genuine, and a lot of the panel was guessing Genuine, and we've kind of ironed out that theory that if one or two of the panelists are really confident that it's this guy for X, Y, and Z, they're probably going to be the ones going home.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is.
And then
you get down to the battle royale where Bret Michaels comes out, and the pre-song was Party City, Take Me Home. Was that? Yeah, it was Party City, wasn't it?
No, didn't he do Nothing But a Good Time?
Oh yeah, it was. I'm sorry, I get another rock song. That would have been another good song to put out. Was
Yeah.
Take Me Down to Paradise City.
Yeah.
But no, it was yeah, was that what was the song again, Mike? You said
Nothing But a Good Time.
yeah, Nothing But a Good Time.
Great song by Poison. That one I don't have a problem with. That's actually
Yeah.
one of Poison's best. But they had Bret Michaels do it. So maybe they got a break on royalties for it. I don't know. Either way, we then pull in and have the two do it. And Tiki goes home.
I was kind of disappointed with that. I thought that going into it, the Sea Queen did a lot better job on the song that I thought that she would. But
I think the Sea Queen did a better job. I think Sea Queen did a better job in the Battle Royale than the Tiki did. But I think the Tiki did better in the first song than the Sea Queen did.
Yeah, I mean maybe he the Tiki lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, if anything, maybe it was the Sea Queen's unique take on the song.
Yeah.
While the Tiki did it more traditionally and didn't really change the style of the song, and he did great on it. I liked his take on it, and thought that he should have been the one to win the night. But even with the battle, even though I thought the battle royal was more evenly matched.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed when the Tiki went home, and the Tiki ended up being Sebastian Bach.
Yep. Famed for heading up Skid Row.
Yeah, I was sort of being, we both my wife and I agreed. Yep, that's Sebastian Bach after his performance.
After both of his rock performances,
I was made for loving you. I knew it was him. I thought going into the night when he was performing with Group B, I thought it was David Lee Roth.
Yeah, I thought it was a classic rocker, and it could have been anybody. But yeah, I'm not surprised. And I agreed. As soon as I heard him singing "I Was Made for Loving You," I thought Sebastian Bach, and yes, great. So
yeah, and he looked like he was legitimately surprised that he lost.
Yeah, I think so too. But that's good. Like, that's what you want, I guess. Okay, Rich. Real quick, now that we're done with the Masked Singer, do you want to do your personal shout out?
Yeah, I got as a shout out and a programming note. I'm going to be taking the week off to do a little bit of a staycation for my anniversary, 13 years.
Wow.
With my wife Amy. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a staycation and a little bit of a treat yourself.
Yeah.
Treat yourself weekend.
You gonna get massages?
Yeah.
You gonna do pedicures?
Some pedicures.
Yeah.
Yep, pedicures. Go out for a nice dinner. I think we're gonna sometime during the weekend. We're gonna go to the movies and see Wonka.
Oh, nice! I really want to see that too. That looks good.
Let's see Wonka.
Okay. Well, with that, that is my shout out as well. Is happy anniversary to you guys. 13 years, man. That seems like yesterday. But then I remember that I've been married for like 7, so I'm halfway there. So, okay, Rich, what's it time to do?
Mike, why don't you go ahead and roll that outro?
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.